Good morning. It is a pleasure to welcome the new Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, to the NATO Headquarters. Mark is a friend, a good colleague. We have worked together for many years, and he knows NATO well, and he is well known across the alliance. And Mark has the perfect background to become a great Secretary General. He has served as Prime Minister for 14 years. Led 4 different coalition governments, so therefore he knows how to make compromises, create consensus, and these are skills which are very much valued here at NATO. So Mark, therefore, NATO will be in safe hands with you at the helm. And therefore it also makes it easier for me to leave the alliance knowing that you will take over as the Secretary General of NATO. Having said that, I have to admit that I'm leaving the alliance with mixed feelings. It's time to leave. There's a great successor coming in, but it's difficult to leave an alliance and an organization that I've served for 10 years. All the people, all the nations I worked with, of course I will miss that. But I leave knowing that we have achieved a lot together over this decade. We have implemented the biggest reinforcement of NATO, our collective defense, in a generation, with the higher readiness, more troops in the eastern part of the alliance, and of course the fact that we now have gone from 3 allies spending 2% of GDP on defense to 23 allies. And we have added 4 new members, North Macedonia, Montenegro, and Finland and Sweden, so our family is bigger. And then, of course, the fact that we have gone from hardly providing only providing marginal support to Ukraine back in 2014 to now providing massive support to Ukraine, and NATO coordinating the support to Ukraine with a new command in Germany. So NATO has changed as the world has changed. And Mark Rutte has been part of this change as a Prime Minister of one of the NATO allies in Netherlands. So therefore, it is a pleasure to welcome you, my good friend Mark, and from one Secretary General to another, welcome to NATO.
Jens, thank you very much, and it's great to be here. I cannot wait to get to work, and thank you for the friendship over all these years. We started to work together at the NATO table in Lisbon in 2010 at the NATO summit. We were both prime ministers then, and we continued to work on security issues ever since. Russia, terrorism, cyber threats. You kept this great alliance on course during turbulent times. And can I say that largely thanks to you, NATO is now bigger, it is stronger, it is more united than ever. So it is, for me, a great honor to follow you as Secretary General, to fill your big shoes, so to say. We both believe that a strong transatlantic bond is the foundation of our alliance, and I can assure you, I will do my utmost to ensure that it will stay rock solid. You already mentioned the priorities you have been working on, and these priorities we will take forward in the future. Ukraine. We have to make sure that Ukraine prevails as a sovereign, independent and democratic nation. Of course, our deterrence and defense. We have to spend more. We have to increase our collective defense. And you have achieved so much, Jens, on that particular subject. And then, of course, you were the one building all those alliances all around the globe, NATO's partnerships. And they have to go wider and deeper, given all the insecurities in the world. But one thing will not change, Jens, and that is NATO's core mission. And that is to make sure that we defend our people, our nations, and of course our values. So thank you for the friendship. And thank you also, can I add that to my short introduction here, for all the cooperation over the last couple of months. You and my team working together in a seamless handover. It was really really friendship and very important. Thank you so much.
I think there are times for a couple of questions. Okay?
How important is it to be here together, to have this personal exchange and transition? I know when you started, your predecessor was already gone, not in office anymore. So how useful is it for you to have this moment together? Thank you.
Also, I appreciate this very much because this is, for me, a way to say goodbye, but also to welcome Mark Rutte. And I hope that Mark also appreciates the fact that we are together. Also demonstrating something which is important in every democratic nation and in every democratic institution, the kind of peaceful, friendly handover of power. And that's exactly what we're doing now.
Yeah. And showing the friendship and the fact that the teams have been working basically since early July together to make sure that in those 3 months the handover would be perfect. And it is. So yes, for me this is also very important.
Mr. Stoltenberg.
We do that, and then we do this, and then that one.
Ukraine. What about Lebanon?
Yes, well, obviously we are following closely what is happening in Lebanon, but obviously NATO has no specific role there. So we are, of course, as an alliance in constant contact with all our partners over there. And of course we hope that the hostilities will end as soon as possible. But there is also a clear worry here.
Yes, could you also answer the same question, because that was my question as well, the recent developments in Lebanon?
Also, we are, of course, deeply concerned about the escalation we see in the Middle East and in Lebanon, and therefore we support the efforts of NATO allies to find a way to de-escalate and find a political solution both to the ongoing hostilities in Gaza, but also the situation in Lebanon. Then I think we can do that one, and then that's the last one.
For incoming Secretary General, what will be your absolute top priority on day one when you take office?
Well, it's difficult to distinguish between the 3 priorities because, of course, Ukraine is at the top of the list. But also we need to do more in terms of our collective defense and deterrence. We have to invest more and close the capability gaps and try to achieve on all the targets NATO has set here. And thirdly, we have to do more to make sure that we really build on the NATO partnerships which have been established over the years now, including in the Far East. So I would think they are all 3 equally important, but obviously Ukraine is very much in our thoughts.
Okay.
Excuse me. Mr. Rutte, Pim Cedee, The Telegraaf. A personal question for you, because you were our longest sitting Prime Minister in the Netherlands. You said to me, well, after that I'm going to be the teacher at a school in The Hague to have a different career. Why did you decide to take this chance to be Secretary General of the NATO?
Well, as you know, we had a government crisis in The Hague in July last year. And then I thought about it over summer, given the fact that there was this vacancy and that I already had to say no previously to the American president because I was still in office and it would have led to new elections in the Netherlands. But then the government collapsed. I thought deeply about it during the summer. And then I decided in September, October, given the whole situation now, that I would give it a try. And then, of course, I had to work hard to convince all allies.
Then one last question to Politico, and then we please.
Oh, sorry. Hi. Lily Bayer from Reuters. Mark Rutte, I have a question. You're coming into office just ahead of a key U.S. election. Are you concerned about the possible impact of that election on alliance unity, especially when it comes to Ukraine? And what are you going to do to keep the alliance together if there are a diversity of views on how to help Ukraine?
I'm not worried. I know both candidates very well. I worked for 4 years with Donald Trump. He was the one pushing us to spend more, and he achieved. Because indeed, at the moment, we are now at a much higher spending level than we were when he took office early in 2017. And he was also pushing us on China. And I think he was right there. Of course, Kamala Harris has a fantastic record as vice president. She's a highly respected leader. So I will be able to work with both, whatever is the outcome of the elections. And of course, I cannot vote, so we'll see what happens.
Thank you. I think this is enough.
See you later.
Thank you. There will be a press conference later on.